Japan's not a great country. Japan has nothing. You grew up hearing that. Teaching English in Japan is basically like working at McDonald's. I got like $800 a month. The whole trend right now is like foreigners versus Japan. Everybody's like a character from Dragon Ball. We started doing fine in Japan. Like, that's really like, you know, what my channel's kind of all about. They told me I'm a weeb trying to be an anime character. And I'm like, what is happening?
Hello, and thank you for tuning in. If you're enjoying the show, subscribing is the best way to support us. It helps us grow and bring you new stories from life in Japan. Alright, let's jump in. Welcome to Unpacking Japan. I'm Toby, and today I have the pleasure to welcome Sora. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
People know you online under the alias Sora the Troll.
Yes.
You're a translator, voice actor, and content creator on YouTube.
Yes.
You've got quite a long and interesting career. And before we start with anything, there's one question that I want to ask you because it's the most asked questions I've seen in the comments of all your videos. Are you actually Japanese?
I want to say I'm Japanese. I was born in Japan. I grew up in Japan. I've never lived abroad. I've been in Japan in my entire life. So I see myself as Japanese. There's like this whole meme going on the internet. Not just only on my channel. Everybody has been talking about it outside of my channel as well, whether Sora's really Japanese as one eye. But yes, I think I'm Japanese.
Where did this meme come from? Like, how did it start?
It's a long story, but people have been asking me the same question even in real life too. Like, so even in Japan, if I don't say nothing, people assume I'm Japanese. But like once I speak English, people assume I'm not Japanese. Like that has been the same case with any Japanese people, with any with foreigners, let's say, they assume like I was not born in Japan or like I didn't grow up in Japan. Mm-hmm. So I've been getting that in real life. And then on the internet, when I started my YouTube channel at first, I never showed my face. And I talked about Japan. And I kept saying, I'm a Japanese guy that was born and I grew up in Japan. Everybody thought I was a weeb trying to be a Japanese person. Basically trying to be that one anime character by faking his own nationality. So that's kind of how it started at first. And then I showed my face and people still didn't believe it. People told me I must be Chinese, Korean, but never Japanese somehow. So that's like the very beginning of this whole thing. And then that was back in 2021. I did VR chat videos, like playing VR chat was like a huge thing in 2021. So I was playing VR chat and I did this video where I go up to some random people. And then I asked them where they think I'm from. They told me all the countries, but not Japan somehow. Like they even told me they told me I might be a European, Russian, American, Chinese, Korean. When I told them I'm Japanese, they told me I'm a weeb trying to be an anime character. And I was like, what is happening? So then everybody noticed that's really the case on the internet, my viewers basically. So this whole meme happened and they started saying like, oh, Sora, you cannot be Japanese. Like, where are you from? Like, actually, where are you from? That's the whole story.
And this is still going on.
It kind of became a meme and I don't really mind it anymore.
On the topic of being Japanese, a few years ago, you actually made a video that you kind of struggled with that for a while, about the perception of being Japanese and what it means to be Japanese. And that your encounter with someone that was a big fan of Japan kind of changed your perspective on, oh, actually, this is really cool. Can you tell me a little bit about like what this encounter was and how did it change your perspective? So
basically the story of me not liking how Japanese I was before, that story, right? So that was like 20 years ago. I feel like nobody really cared about Japan 20 years ago. I don't know how true that is. So right now, Japan's like that country, everybody, not really everybody, but a lot of people want to visit. And if you go to like, let's say America, and if you say I'm Japanese, people get hyped up. Like that's my experience in Vegas, in LA. 20 years ago, I don't think it was there. I So, and then in Japan, there's like this education where people kind of tell you that Japan's not that amazing. Like there are better countries out there, and Japan's like one of the worst countries. I You grew up hearing that in Japan.
Mhm.
So I grew up hearing that in Japan as well, and I kept telling myself that Japan's not a great country. Japan has nothing but anime. That's really what I thought. So I used to so like I like to talk to a lot of people on the internet in real life both. And when I was like 17, I would get on my computer, talk to random people on Skype and stuff too. But I never said where I was from because like
Oh,
I was able to actually hide my nationality. I've been doing that forever because nobody knows I'm Japanese on the internet, and it's simply because I was so like ashamed, like embarrassed of like my own nationality. And I feel like a lot of other Japanese people can relate to that too. 20 years ago, I don't think it's a thing now. And then I met this one person, basically saying like, I like Japanese anime. I want to be Japanese. And back then, there weren't really a lot of weebs like Japanese wannabes. Now, like there's like a lot of them now. So I got shocked by what he told me. I was like, why do you want to be Japanese? Like Japan's kind of lame and there's nothing but anime. And he told me how he likes. It sounds really stupid too, but he told me how he likes the samurai culture and the ninja stuff. And he told me how there's like a lot of cool tech stuff going on in Japan, and there's like this Bushido whatever stuff, and I like Japanese history. So even though it really sounded like a weeb, trying to talk about his favorite kawaii Japan stuff, that changed my perception. That kind of made me go like, this guy is not Japanese. By the way, he was American. He is American. And he thinks Japan's a cool country and he wants to be Japanese. That shocks me. And then I decided to talk to more people like him, basically weebs. They all told me the same thing. Like, Japan's cool. Like, I want to go to Japan. I want to live in Japan. Japan's got this. Like, Japan's got vending machines, right? And that shocked me too. People talking about vending machines, saying like, Japan's got vending machines. Now I know why they think it's unique, but to me back then, that didn't make any sense. Because like I grew up seeing vending machines everywhere. So then I decided to talk to more weebs and more weebs. They all told me the same thing. And now I'm here doing a channel for weebs on the internet to basically tell them weebs are doing fine in Japan as well. Like that's really like what my channel is kind of all about too.
interesting
Yeah.
story.
So if you watch my channel, I do a lot of weeby stuff on my channel, but I've been saying weebs are definitely fine in Japan because weebs are basically the people who like Japan. They might be cringy and weird, but Japanese people like the fact how, weebs like Japan as well, and Japanese people appreciate that too. So, yeah, that's the whole
From what
thing.
you're saying, it sounds like already 20 years ago, you were kind of reaching out to people living abroad a lot online. You
Or in
mentioned
Japan,
talking
both, yes.
to on Skype, and
Mhm.
where does your interest come from to kind of interact with people from around the world and kind of talk about all kinds of things?
So, like, I like to talk to people. I like to meet new people, and I don't like to do things by myself. So, like, I don't really
Mm.
play games by myself or anything. When I play games, I play with people. And since I was a kid, I just wanted to spend my time with people. But in reality, though, in real life, it's kind of hard to hang out with people 24/7, even though that's kind of what I wanted to do. And
Oh.
then I found out there's this app called Skype. So I started using that. And then there was like this one forum, like a website called Japan Guide, I
Hmm.
think. And
I
there
still
was,
exists.
yeah, I think it changed now too. But it was like a place where you could post your Skype ID saying like I want to talk to Japanese
No?
people. Like Japanese people were there saying like I want to make friends. So I saw that and I was like that's great. So I decided to post my ID there. and I got so many friend requests from like all the anime watching weebs. And yeah, I thought that's like a great opportunity for me to reach out to more people when I'm at home. So I don't have to, leave my house and, you know, like hang out with people in Tokyo and stuff. I just felt like that was the greatest way for me to talk to so many people with the limited amount of time. So yeah, that's
Is this also what kind of got you started in a career of becoming an English teacher, where you kind of had these interactions, you spoke the language a little bit, and you're like, oh, I want to kind of...
No, it's a whole different story. So I grew up speaking English and Japanese both actually. And I've been saying actually, but I never wanted to be an English teacher when I was a kid. Like even when I was in school, I kept saying I never wanted to be an English teacher. So I went to university in Chiba, where I'm from. And I majored in translation, like between English and Japanese. And I wanted to be a translator with the degree. But in that industry, all the companies want to hire translators with some experience. And when I graduated from the university, I didn't have like any experience at all, even though I kind of went through that training in university. So then I was like, I cannot be a translator, even though I have the degree. What should I do? Then there was like this one company that was looking for a person that can teach English. So then I applied for it and I got accepted and I just became an English teacher, even though I didn't want to be an English teacher.
How was the experience like though?
Well, it was, have you ever taught English in Japan, by the way?
No, I have not.
Okay, so like teaching English in Japan is basically the same thing as like Americans working at McDonald's, really. It's like the same thing. You don't really get paid that much. So in my experience, I know it's different for every person, but in my experience, I worked for this one company, Chiba. I got like 12 months, so it's like $800 a month.
12 months?
Yeah. So it was like that much, but it's kind of common for English teachers, especially when you were Japanese. If you were a foreigner, then it might be like 17万, like 20万, but it's really, really low. But I was still like able to pay all my bills and stuff with that amount of money because in Chiba, like everything's really cheap. So that was basically my experience. The teaching experience itself was like really fun too because in my case, I didn't have to prepare for my classes that much because all those other Japanese teachers had to study before classes to teach English, which is like really interesting. But all the English teachers in Japan don't really speak English themselves.
So the Japanese English teachers?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like Japanese English teachers teach English without knowing how to speak English. That's like
it sounds like a quite problematic for the students.
Yeah, that's like what I thought was what everybody was doing in that industry. But for me, I didn't really have to study that much because like the level I was teaching was like I don't know, like kids and 中学生, like middle schoolers and stuff. So it was like not a problem for me. So even though that's not what I wanted to do, but I enjoyed the experience itself. And you can see people coming up with like very interesting sentences in English that sound really off too. And that was like one of my favorite moments too. Now I made so many videos about that on my channel, but yeah, so I liked it.
The students at the time, did you see that they had like a specific interest in learning English, or was it just something that they had to do because they were in school?
There were so many types of like different students too. So like there were students like who just wanted to be there because they didn't want to go to like juku, the cram school, like where you have to like study math and whatever, which is common in Japan. So there were those students, and those students just wanted to sleep or just wanted to space out and do nothing. But there were some students who wanted to actually learn English because they wanted to be like English teachers. Like that's like some cases I witnessed. And there were some people that grew up outside of Japan. So like their first language is actually English, but their second language is Japanese, and their Japanese is getting stronger. So they just wanted to keep their English and then they came to like my school. So like there were many types of different kind of students, and in my case, I actually had to teach students with like special needs because I went through some training myself, like a psychology and whatever. So I knew how to teach them too. So I did that as well. And yeah.
But ultimately, a teaching career was not what you envisioned. So
No.
I imagine at the time you were having fun with the kids, but you were kind of thinking about something else you might want to do. And
it was fun, but there was like no future because like teaching English in Japan means you will get stuck teaching English forever with the same like pay. Like you won't get promoted or anything. You're not gonna, be like a CEO or anything. So like I knew I had to change my career eventually. So I taught English there for like 5, 6, 7 years. I forgot actually. And then I came to the point where I started telling myself, like, I gotta do something about my life. Like, would I just want to teach English and get like Juniman $800 every month? Then, yeah, I started doing voice acting translations as a freelancer. And then it actually became a thing, and my channel became a thing. So I decided to say bye to the school. And then, yeah.
which one came first, the channel or voice acting?
Voice acting first. This is actually a really, really long story, too.
We have time.
Yeah, so I was just an English teacher, right? Because I didn't know what skills I had before. And there used to be this American friend that I had, and I used to play games with him. He would tell me something like, yo, Sora, you gotta be a voice actor. And I didn't really listen to him because I just didn't feel like that was realistic. So I just never paid attention to anything he was saying. But he passed away because of like a car accident.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then I was, reading like all the things like he told me through like emails and stuff, and then I noticed like maybe I should at least try out doing voice acting, voiceovers, just because he told me. So I decided to try it out, and in the first month, I only got 5,000 yen, so like $35, and I wasn't gonna really make it a thing, but a Japanese person doing voiceovers or voice acting for the like English people, English speaking people, while like when he can translate the scripts himself, that thing was like really rare. I don't really think there were a lot of people who did that before. Basically, like one Japanese person who does voiceovers, translations, and sound engineering. I do that too. And I was luckily the only person in that industry who did everything by himself. So just because I do everything by myself, I was able to set the price really, really low too. So I stood out. And the first month, I didn't get that much. Like, I don't really think I got many offers, but the second month, I suddenly got like 100 offers, and I suddenly,
100?
yeah, like it blew up suddenly in the second month. I still remember that. And then, yeah,
How did you get the offers? Do you put yourself out there? Like, is there like a job application board for voice acting?
so
or-
there's like this website, Fiverr, and I started from there.
Oh, okay.
There's like, so Fiverr is basically a website where you can be a freelancer on that website. And I decided to put my profile there, and I just waited. And then yeah, like naturally it just blew up, and I was able to make it a thing. And I've been doing that for like 10 years now, actually, since
Wow.
then. So
What are some of the projects that you really enjoyed working on?
well, that's a great question. I don't know which one I liked the most because I tried to like focus on what they want me to do. It's not really all about like what I like doing. So I don't really know. But there's been like interesting like projects like everywhere. The most remarkable one I've ever done. Actually, you know what? There are two projects that I can remember. So the first one is I think I can talk about this. Do you know what Kirin beer is? Kirin beer?
yes.
チューハイのなんだっけな、氷結?
Okay, yeah.
So I got hired by them, and I was like, oof. because everybody in Japan knows what hyoketsu is. So they apparently wanted to make an advertisement in Australia, basically saying hyoketsu new drink, huh? And they reached out to me saying like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And I went through this audition, I think, and I got hired for that position. So my voice was apparently everywhere in Australia, saying like, "Hyoketsu, hello, yes." And a lot of people reached out to me um, when that happened, and that was an interesting time in my life.
How so?
How? Well, because I didn't know I was doing something really, really huge. I felt like I was working for a small project because I cannot really tell myself. And then I noticed my voice was like on TV, on radio, on like ads on YouTube in Australia, like in New Zealand. So it's like I felt like I didn't do anything big, right? But then for the people that knew about my channel, they went like, Sora's on TV. Sora's blowing up. And that gap between like me and like what other people thought was like really, really huge. And that was like really enjoyable in a way too. And there's like another thing I did too. I'm pretty sure you don't know about this. You know the character called KJ?
No.
No, okay. Yeah, you probably shouldn't know about this. You know what Roblox is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's this game called Roblox. And Roblox has like different game modes basically. And if I'm not wrong, there's like this game mode called the strongest battleground, which
Okay.
is like really, really popular, I heard. And there's this character called KJ in that game. I didn't know about this. So this actually happened back in like 2018 or like 2019. This guy reached out to me saying like, "Hey, I heard you do voice acting and I heard you do translations yourself too. Can you work for this project? Thank you." And I decided to take the offer. And it was basically like a script of like this one character screaming technique names, like a typical like "I'm gonna punch you in your face" kind of thing. I did that, and then in 2 years, I got messages, comments, uh, emails from like a lot of people, and I was like, "What is even happening?" It turns out that I apparently voiced for this character called KJ, and that character is so huge in Roblox, and so famous and popular on YouTube as well. If you use the name KJ, you easily get 1 million views, which happened to me as well. I just said, I'm a voice actor of KJ, and I got 1 million views just for talking about it. And then there's this guy that decided to hire me, right? He does animation, like animated videos on his channel. He was making this series where a character called KJ fights other weaklings, and he's like so strong and powerful and stuff. That video has like 10 million views or something.
Wow.
So I didn't know about it, and it was my voice. I didn't know I was working for the project. So I actually saw the video on stream on my channel with my viewers, and I was like, I didn't know I was doing this. Wow.
So how do the projects work for you? Since you kind of get contacted through your profile that's out there, and people are, "Oh, can you work on this project? Can you do this voice?" But you don't seem to get the information from them about like, "Okay, we're gonna use your voice in this thing. It's gonna be shared all over there." You just kind of get the contract, go to a recording studio, and then just read the lines without too much information. Or how does it usually work?
There's like, so I get so many offers from everybody too, and everybody everybody's different. If they are companies, like they will tell me what it's for, like Hyoketsu, Kirin Beer, they tell me. But if it's like a YouTuber, they don't really talk about what channel it's for or anything.
Okay.
So 90% of my clients never tell me what it's for, and I'm fine with it because I usually work for like 10 different projects like every day too.
So your voice is like everywhere, but you have no idea where people might hear you.
Yeah, like that was the case too. Like there's this game which became a huge meme in Japan, and I was like getting memed on for like a year. This game called Kuchisake Onna. It's like a horror game on Steam, and people in Japan were memeing about the game so hard everywhere. And I knew about the fact how the game was getting memed on, but I didn't know why. And then at some point, some of my viewers came up to me saying, Sora, did you voice this? And I was like, no, I don't remember the game. So, but a lot of people started talking about the name, like started telling me like, just like, oh no, your voice, huh, like everywhere. So I decided to check it out on stream, and it was actually my voice, and it was like really stupid sounding somehow. So it was the project. I actually remember, I got reached out by this one person, and he wanted to make a very scary horror game, but he just gave me a script without telling me what it is really for. So I had to kind of guess how to voice all the lines myself. Like, should I be scared? Should I be worried? Should I be like depressed? Like, how should I voice these lines? So I had to kind of guess how to voice all the lines myself, and it ended up being really weird. Like, there were some scenes where the protagonist should be like obviously scared, but he sounded happy and stuff. And that's basically what happened, and that's kind of why it became like the biggest meme ever. But interestingly, for the English speaking audience, it sounded amazing. So like English speaking game enjoyers didn't think it was meme worthy. So it was kind of well liked by the English speaking audience, but in Japan it became the biggest meme ever. And I still remember I had to kind of talk about how it's not my fault.
Give some context.
Yeah, like I had to tell my Japanese audience saying like, I know it sounds like it was voiced by a foreigner because it just sounded way off. But it's not because of me. It's because of like how the script was like given to me. But yeah,
you started voice acting as in memory of your friend.
Basically, yeah.
10 years later or more, you're still doing this. What do you find interesting about voice acting? What makes you motivated to kind of keep taking on all these projects?
That's a really great question. My motivation, right? Well, my motivation, I don't know. It's just I feel like I just am supposed to do what everybody wants me to do. So there's not really motivation anymore for me. Like if they want to make something new, and if they feel like they need my voice, then I kind of feel like I have to fit in that specific like position myself to. So it's more like I feel like I have to be the person, be the voice actor they want me to be, instead of like I want to do this because that's my motivation. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really have like
voice acting. I can imagine is very difficult because, like the example of the game you just shared before, you need to convey certain emotions. You need to get into character.
Mm-hmm.
How do you approach these? How do you manage to adapt your voice to the needs of the people that kind of reach out to you to create these unique experiences and match the game or match the commercial and get the vibe right?
So it really depends on like who I'm working with too. Some people just don't really tell me anything, and they just give me a script and I have to guess, and they don't really care about like how it's voiced. But some companies, they usually are in the same like recording session with me on a call, like at a studio or something. In that case, like they're telling me like, oh, can you say it more like this? Like, oh, this is the reference file, so can you listen to it? And then we get like what we want. But there's been so many cases where they just don't say anything, and I have to guess. And that's like that's like the 90% of my experience with like a lot of my clients. So it's usually just me guessing like how they want it. And if it works great, it's done in one take. But if they happen to want something entirely different, I have to retake the whole thing. And that's been kind of like what's happening recently. So it's kind of like a gamble. I have to guess.
Sometimes in the last few years of your career, you really started YouTube, a channel you started, I think, 10 years ago. But you told me before we started recording at the beginning, it was just kind of a few videos. But just before COVID, I think you started taking this seriously.
Yes.
What made you interested in the first place to kind of create videos and put them out there?
So I started my channel in 2015. And I started being active in 2019. for the first 4 years, I didn't do anything because I started my channel simply because my friends told me like, "Hey Sora, you can be the greatest troll on the internet." Then I made the channel. It was supposed to be like a channel where I play games and I do stupid things in games. I used to play this game called Counter Strike with my friends, and my channel was all about me playing Counter Strike and doing stupid things in games. And then I can share the clips I took from the game with my friends, and that's kind of what I did first. And so, of course, it was not a huge channel or anything because like only my friends were watching my channel and nobody really knew about my channel. But then I got the accusation of like how I'm not Japanese and stuff like while like posting those videos too. Then I decided to show my face, and then some people reacted to it with like I don't know how to phrase this. Some people got so shocked that I really was a Japanese person and I looked really young too, because everybody thought I was like 60-year-old dying man that has no life. Like that's really what I used to get on the internet. People still tell me I sound a lot older than what I look like. So that shocked some people. Even though my channel was really small, I think I got suddenly like 10,000 views for just talking about how Japanese I am. And I grew up in Japan. And then I noticed, wow, like there's some demand for me to be Japanese on the internet while speaking English and talk about Japan. So I just started posting videos about like Japan this, Japan that. And my channel was not really like a thing because like I was just talking about nothingness. And then there was like this one time before when one of my viewers asked me to react to Filthy Frank and talk about uh, what a Japanese person actually thinks about Filthy Frank. And now on the internet, you see a lot of Japanese people reacting to Filthy Frank. But before, when I did that, nobody did that actually. There were like no channels that reacted to English speaking things. So I did that. And then suddenly 3 million views, 2.4 million views or something, I forgot. Then people told me to react to more Filthy Frank stuff. And it, like all the videos basically blew up and they all have like 1 million whatever views. And then everybody else started copying the whole thing. And then like all the Japanese related channels at least talked about Filthy Frank at least once in their lives. And I still feel like it's because of me and it's because of like my mistake where I caused the trend. But so then I did that. And then people started saying like, this Sora the Troll guy is the next Filthy Frank. He's the next Filthy Frank, and now we have Filthy Frank on YouTube now. Because like that's when Filthy Frank quit YouTube, I think. And all the, like not really all the people, but a lot of people were looking for somebody that's like Filthy Frank. So I decided to kind of act like Filthy Frank in a way too. And then people just went like, wow, there's a Japanese person that acts cringe. This is what I want. And then in 2 months, I got 100,000 subs from like 1,000. It blew up instantly just because a Japanese person's being stupid. So I was like, wow, so there's like a huge demand for there's like a huge demand for a Japanese person to be dumb on the internet. And I was like, that's stupid, but sure. So I kept doing it for 6 months where I teach weird Japanese phrases on my channel. Something like, what color are you wearing in Japanese, huh? And the series was well liked, but I came to the point where I felt like I was being the person who I'm really not on the internet way too much. And people thought that's who I am.
So the image you were portraying of Sora the Troll online was becoming how you were perceived, but inside for you this was mostly an act.
So like there was like this huge gap, and my friends knew about it, but on the internet nobody knew back then. So then I made this video saying like it's named like the end of Sora the Troll, basically saying it's all an act, and I'm gonna end this, and I'm gonna say bye to YouTube. So I quit YouTube for a month. And then I came back to my channel and I decided to stop the whole like Filthy Frank thing. And I decided to work on like whatever skits about Japan. So the I can have like this boundary between me on the internet versus like me in real life kind of thing. And yeah, then I guess I'm here now.
Now, these
Maybe.
skits you've done are actually a lot based on your personal experiences or experiences of your friends.
Yes.
Job interviews, job experiences. Some of them are quite crazy. I was watching. I was watching some where you were in this job interview and being asked to speak English. And you spoke perfect English like you're doing now, but then they ask you to speak English with a Japanese pronunciation. Did this actually happen?
That happens a lot, and you can actually witness that happening on my channel too. So the other day, I was memeing about this whole thing. I made a video recently, and then I talked about how I pronounced like a 300 hours or something, and then this Japanese person showed up in the comments, basically saying like, "Yo, this Japanese guy speaks weird English. Like he cannot pronounce three. He's saying three. That's wrong." And I'm like, what is happening? That really happens in Japan. Like if you are a Japanese person speaking English, even though you don't really pronounce in the typical Japanese way, Japanese people will still hear something like they shouldn't be hearing. And that happens way too much. And the whole job interview thing is obviously it's kind of exaggerated because it's a skit, but it's really based on what kind of happened. Not really like that, but it was like, it's basically like then can you speak English for us? And I said something, and then the guy was like, okay, so you speak English, but you can probably just improve your English more. And I'm like, what does that even mean? So basically, it's really what happened, but like exaggerated 1,000 times more for the sake of like my channel. But yeah, it really does happen.
These skits, do you spend a lot of time writing them, or is it kind of like suddenly you have the idea or you have the experience or you remember something that happened to you and it's like, okay, let's do this right now?
So I have I remember all those experiences, and it really depends. Like I come up with like so many different ideas. Even right now too, I can come up with like 10 different ideas too. And then if I want to make a video on my channel, I try to like remember what happened in my life before. And then I can think of like some whatever experience that happened in my life, and I can go like, oh, I can talk about that. So I just randomly write the script, and it only takes like 2 hours for those like short scripts. And then I just do what kind of happened before. As in like I make a video based on what kind of happened before, and the whole process takes like actually 8 hours for like a 2-minute video, I think. But yeah.
You said earlier that your channel is basically for weebs. That's kind of how you described it.
Yes.
Do you feel that it's really still the case today?
I think it has changed a lot too. So I've been on the platform and doing videos for 6 years now. It has changed. People grew up, and so people that watch anime don't really watch my channel. They started watching VTubers, and they started watching anime a lot more. So I don't really think there are some like hardcore weebs on my channel anymore. But now my channel is filled with the people that want to move to Japan, that want to learn Japanese, or that want to know what Japanese people think about some certain situations. It seems like I became like that one person who can talk about like Japanese things and foreign things when I'm truly Japanese, and people tend to watch my channel for that specific purpose. I feel like maybe.
When the weebs kind of came to your channel, you personally said, I think multiple times, you don't necessarily watch anime yourself or are not so interested in these things. How are you able to kind of relate to them or kind of interact with their references, because you don't necessarily watch One Piece and are able to talk about it? How did you kind of?
So it's easy to talk to people based on what they like to talk about too. So like I like to learn like psychology, and like that's actually my sub major in university. I'm really into psychology, and I'm really into like all the human interactions stuff basically, and that's kind of why I like to talk to people too. And I learned people will want to talk to you more if you talk about what they want to talk about. If you talk about yourself and if you say like, I like table tennis, like there's this rubber that is really good. Nobody cares. I noticed it when I was like 18. So then I started talking about what they want to talk about more. Basically, first asked them like, hey, what do you like to do? And when I talk to weebs, they usually say, I like One Piece. Like Luffy-kun kakoi desu, they say that. And I thought that was really interesting. I never thought that was cringy because they were still talking about something related to Japan. So even though I don't really watch anime, weebs usually have like this pattern where they say, I like this anime and this character is very cool because this character did something. So I never watched really anime that much myself, but I was able to collect all the pieces of information and was able to make I come up with like my own perception of like what a certain anime might be like.
Mhm.
Like, oh, in One Piece, this is probably what happens because I heard this character does this from this weeb, and another weeb told me this character does this. So then I was able to, or I've been able to talk about anime if they want to talk about anime with the weebs on my channel, or like if they want to talk about other things, I can probably do that too because I try to talk about what they want to talk about.
You said that a lot of them now moved on maybe to like VTuber channels, but you actually collaborate a lot with VTubers as well. I think Shakurin. How did that kind of collaboration come about?
So this is actually really interesting story too. I'm a streamer at the same time on the same channel, and there used to be like this one time when I used to make fun of, not really make fun of, but like I reacted to VTubers and I would just laugh at their clips and stuff. And then at some point, I wanted to raid those like small VTuber channels and see their reactions. So I did a stream where we raid we raid small channels like Japanese channels, like English speaking channels, and I think we rated like 10 different channels. And then there was Kakshakurin, and she only had 100 subs with like 10 viewers or something. And when we rated the channel, suddenly like 500 people like just went to that channel and they started screaming like, oh, I love you, Rin-chan, oh, I love you, Rin-chan. And Rin-san back then got like, she thought she was getting raided by some creeps who wanted to troll her, which is not really wrong actually. That's kind of what happened actually. But the truth was like she was getting raided by another YouTuber, but she thought she was witnessing the case of like all the creeps trying to harass her, which was like really different because everybody was kind of breathing heavily saying like, ah, Rin-chan, I love you. And then I think she started banning a lot of like the people there, even though like all the people are actually real and real viewers like that wanted to support her in a way. So then I ended the stream and I actually started watching the stream myself, like leaving comments saying like, oh, by the way, that was me and we rated your channel. They're all like real people and they seem to like you. So good luck. And then interestingly, like 200 people actually decided to stay on the channel. And even though all the weebs out there, they didn't speak much Japanese, they still like wanted to see a Japanese girl speaking Japanese on the internet. And yeah, so people liked her. And then I decided to reach out to her through an email saying like, I'm sorry for that sudden like surprise. If you are interested in doing a collab, we can. And she said yes. Then we first did a collab together, and people liked it too. So I started doing collabs more and more, and yeah, I guess we've been still like doing collabs after like all the years. We've been doing things for like 4 years now, actually. What?
VTubers really blew up over the last few years. Now
Yeah,
there's a lot of
fine,
channels kind of.
Yes.
It's a new genre. Have you ever tried yourself?
I memed about it myself. I made my own avatar just to meme about it. I decided to use like this girl avatar and decided to talk like a girl, like, "Hey everybody, it's me." And then I purposefully turn on my camera so that they can see me, and I just scream like, "Ah!" And then I end the stream. I did that like 3 4 times, and like every time I do it, it just blows up, and people think it's real somehow. And
So you're still staying true to your name of Sora the Troll. and
yeah, because like I feel like that's what everybody wants me to do as well. Like people just kept telling me like that's kind of what they wanted me to do, so I did it like 4 times. I don't think I'm gonna do it anymore, but yeah. So
A lot of people now, you mentioned, turn to you to kind of get a Japanese perspective on things that are happening online, especially. And I think a lot of your recent videos are kind of commentary videos about foreigners in Japan, Japanese perception of foreigners. Um, most of this kind of happening online too. We were talking about it before we recorded. These are all online perceptions versus what is actually happening. Where do we start there? What is your interest point in all of these topics that are kind of coming up? What intrigues you and you're like, hey, why are we talking about this?
So there's like a clear difference. Like if you speak English and Japanese, you see that clear difference too. What you see in Japan versus what you see outside of Japan in English, those two things are entirely different, and it's really, really, really interesting. Like the what's really interesting here is, for example, you know the situation in Nara, right?
With
So
the kicking the deers.
yeah, that thing. I so in Japan, like I know like there are some specific words I have to stay away from, so I'm not gonna say much here. In Japan, like it's basically people have been saying like this one nationality has been kicking like animals. Like that's how people say in Japan. Outside of Japan, in English, they say foreigners are abusing animals. So like there's like this difference. So now like something very small is happening in Japan, but it gets really, really, really twisted in English. And then like foreigners, like basically it sounds like everybody's doing that in Nara, right? And then people see that on the internet, and then they make videos based on that. Then what happens is like foreigners are all like demon slayers, and all the deer out there are like demons. That really seems like what happens now. But if you go to Nara, like for example, I've been to Nara on stream 2 times actually. I really didn't see demons and demon slayers and monster hunters there. So I noticed it myself. Like I went to all the wacky places on stream to see if what I see on the internet is true or not. And I haven't really witnessed anything like that yet. Like the only exception is Shibuya Family Mart. That's where people really do fight, but that's the only exception. Other than that, I don't really think.
Is this why you started live streaming outside to
No.
kind of go to these locations and check for yourself?
It's more that like I started streaming in 2020 because people told me like they wanted to see like what real Japan is like too, and I've been doing that forever. And then the whole trend right now is like foreigners versus Japan. I keep saying that in Japan as well on the internet. But if you are walking outside without checking the internet, you probably wouldn't notice it that much. Like if you check the internet in Japanese or in English, it seems like everybody's like a character from Dragon Ball, like throwing punches, screaming technique names. But you just don't really see it. And I wanted people to see that too. So I decided to go to those places. And at the same time, I decided to go to like haunted places to see if I get, cursed one. And I've been alive yet, so I don't really know. But
Still alive.
yeah, it's basically like the whole point is like, let's see the truth kind of thing. But yeah.
Especially after the country reopened after COVID, I feel like the amount of content creation done on the topic of Japan kind of has like completely boomed. And now we are in the situation where when you read about Japan online, everything is somewhat sensationalized. It's kind of very hard to get good perspectives. Where does that put you as a Japanese content creator? Do you feel like you want to try to break down some of these over sensationalized stories, or do you feel like there's nothing that can be done because it's just too much happening everywhere?
So this is just my personality, but I try not to care about what's happening out there, because if I care about it, I don't know, like mentally exhausted. So like if it has nothing to do with me, I just try not to care about it that much. Because like I used to do it and I got really depressed before. So I don't really think about anything. But as a Japanese person, I feel like it's important for me to let everybody know some of the things are getting twisted. And I've been talking about it in every video for like a year now, actually. Basically, like, foreigners are now like getting punched in Japan. Like that thing, I covered it too. Or like Japanese people hate foreigners now, so you get rejected from restaurants, and you don't really see those restaurants that much. And what else? There's been like so many rumors. So I really feel like it's important for them to know what actually happens in Japan and what might be causing it. And if it really happens, it's probably like once every like 6 months kind of thing. But yeah, really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You gave the example of like mainstream media, how it's being portrayed in Japanese media and how it's being portrayed in foreign media, the story about the deer. And then comes social media kind of. Do you think there's a way to, is it going to pass by itself? Now Japan is like everyone's favorite and everyone wants to come to Japan and talk about Japan, but that in a few years maybe it will kind of normalize. And
I think it will be like this for a little bit more too, just because there's like more cases of like people talking about a lot of like things related to Japan. I noticed even the people that never came to Japan or like that were not even interested in Japan before, they started talking about Japan too. There's like there's like this channel I follow. It's like an alpha male channel, but do you know anything about it?
I don't know which channel you're talking about, but I can imagine what you mean to.
It's just like, one of the things I like. There's this one alpha male channel that teaches you how to talk to girls. Like, I'm sorry, this is just my favorite kind of like comedy, but that channel is serious. So that channel talks about how to talk to girls and how to get girls and how to be attractive. Okay. I've been checking the channel just because he's so serious and the viewers are so serious, and that thing is just so funny to me. So I've been checking that. Even that channel started talking about Japan, saying like, in Japan, people do this, and that's why they get girls.
But the channel has nothing to do with Japan.
No. And then like I was actually watching the channel yesterday, so like the points he makes is really interesting. In Japan, they drink tea, and tea is good for you. I'm like, what is this? But so basically, even the guy, an alpha male guy, thinks talking about Japan is like there's some demand for that now, and that's kind of why he does it, right? I'm pretty sure it's not like he cares about anything about Japan. It's more like he knows there's like a market in Japan that's huge on the internet now. So then he decided to even jump in that market too. So I feel like there's gonna be more and more people that would want to talk about Japan, that would want to make videos based on Japan. But at first, everybody focused on how good Japan is, how shocking Japan is. But now it's everywhere. Then the second phase, like Japan's dark side. Japan's actually insane. Oh, this is what's happening. And the third phase is, I think it's more like Japan's dying. I think that's what's going to happen. I mean, it's kind of happening now too. Like Japan's going to be done soon. Maybe.
And then Japan will still be here in 1,000 years.
Yeah, and then the next phase is like, oh, Japan got better. I think it's just like that cycle. And I think it's funny. Yeah, maybe, but I don't really know what's going to happen.
So on the one side, there are content creators that are kind of here, are interested and passionate about Japan and want to share their passion. And on the other side, you've got content creators that want to see Japan as a source of content and a source of revenue, basically. You've covered a lot of content creators on your channel, actually, in a comedic style, where you kind of talk about. You made a video about Dogen, who was here on our podcast as well. Yeah. What's your interest in these foreign content creators that are living here and making content on Japan?
Well, what do I think about them?
What is so interesting for you that you feel like you want to make videos about them?
Well, so like basically, the people I talk about my channel are the people that I like, and I really, really like Dogen too, because I've been kind of saying this. Dogen's somebody that influenced me a lot. Like, I think I told Dogen too. I think I found his channel like 10 years ago or something. I actually heard that when I was teaching English back then, if I'm not wrong about it, I heard it from like one of my students, and I checked out his channel, and he was like doing like comedy sketch and stuff, and it was, I don't know, really fun to watch it as a Japanese person, because like he would make fun of the whole like a Japanese like culture, like language and whatever. It was really new to me. So I really was into his channel, like I am still, like, for a while. And then I actually got influenced by Dogen a lot too. So I decided to do like all the skits, like kind of following how Dogen was doing. And then, like, I talked about Dogen so much on my channel, he reached out to me. I was like, "Oh, he noticed me."
Oh.
It was like, "Oh, he noticed me." Like, my
Dogen
senpai noticed me.
senpai,
Yeah, it was like that moment. Then I instantly sent him a message saying like, I watch your channel. Do you want to talk to me, and do you want to do a collaboration?" He said yes. So then we did a collab together, and yeah, I think we did a collab like 2, 3 times too. But technically, he's my senpai, and he's like one of the people that influenced me uh, the most too, actually. And there's like abroad in Japan too.
You talk about him a lot.
So abroad in Japan, Dogen, the anime man Joy, and PDR-san, if you know who that is.
No.
Okay, he's a Japanese YouTuber. The anime man Dogen, abroad in Japan,
Takashi?
Takashi, no, PDR-san. But those people are the people that basically influenced me a lot to be a YouTuber as well. Like, I would actually those channels almost every day, because they kind of do things related to Japan, but they make fun of like some things, and they do like funny things, and I like funny things myself. So, and abroad in Japan is actually one of the people who even made me who made me feel like I like being Japanese is like a good thing. Like, I kind of started feeling proud of like myself being Japanese because of like abroad in Japan too. So like a lot of the things I do on my channel are memes. Like, oh, abroad in Japan, Christian, I want to meet you. But if I have to be serious, it's never like I want to meet him or anything. It's just that like I want to talk about him because he influenced me so much, and he kind of made me realize like Japan's like a great country, and like everybody likes Japan kind of thing. So it's like, you know how kids would talk about their favorite anime characters, saying like, "I want to meet Goku." Goku. It's really that, but I'm not really that desperate about meeting abroad in Japan. So all the people I talk about or I meme about on my channel are basically the people that I really like mostly. And yeah, abroad in Japan just
He's on top of the list.
well, in a way, but not really. So even though I make so many memes about abroad in Japan, I it's not really I'm that desperate about, trying to get his attention. It's more that my viewers want me to do it because they think it's wild. It's just all based on what they want me to do. And then if they want me to do it, sure, I'll do it, kind of thing. But yeah, I've never really sent him a message or anything. Like, he knows about this. Even though I talk about him a lot, I never reached out to him. I never, you know, tried to get close to him or anything. So yeah,
Just to his bar.
that's just that just his bar. But it was obviously because like my viewers wanted me to be weird at the bar while not doing anything illegal or like anything problematic, just smelling the towels and smelling like the glasses, saying like, "Christian, you watching this?" I actually went to his bar recently too, while having the picture of like Chris Broad right next to me, saying like, "Christian, let's drink together." And I'm pretty sure people that worked for the bar definitely watched it there too. It was really awkward, so I'm not gonna go back to the bar anymore. I'm pretty sure I got banned from the bar. So
You said you do a lot of things on your channel because your viewers want you to or
Mhm.
expect you to. And you said the same as well for voice acting.
Yeah.
You said that you do what the clients want, and if someone asks you to do something, you'll do it. What do you want to do?
I don't really. So That's a great question too. You know how I even said like I talk about what weebs want me to talk about and stuff. That's kind of like how I live now. I don't really think about what I want to do now. Actually, it's been like this forever. That's a great question. I don't even think about what I want to do. I don't know. That's a great question. I
Yeah,
don't really know what I
because
want
you
to do.
have done quite a lot teaching English, voice acting. You have a very big community online of people that are seeking advice or perspectives, opinions from you.
Mm.
Maybe there's a project that you've had in mind that you're like, oh, I have an audience. Maybe I can do a specific project.
I never thought about it really. I've been just focusing on like what people think I should do more than anything. So
So
yeah,
we can send our requests. Sora, please make this, and maybe we will see the videos come up on your channel.
that's what happens on my channel. Like people talk about something on my channel, and then I make a video based on that too. Like all the videos I've been doing, it's just like what people talk about on my channel or what I see out there. So I just do something based on it. But
What's the experience been like for you to kind of go from teaching English to now being such a well-known online personality with so many viewers? I imagine people sometimes also recognize you in the streets of Tokyo. Your voice has been all over the place in games,
yeah.
in commercials, and such. Do you feel like it changed your perspectives a lot on where
I
you began, on like struggling to um, kind of be happy with being Japanese?
actually no. I never feel like I'm famous. So this is something I've been saying on my channel too. I keep telling my viewers that I'm never famous because if I'm ever famous, then I should be surrounded by like 10,000 people. Like, you know what happened to iShow Speed, but that never happens to me. So I don't know. I never really feel like I'm well known or like I'm popular or anything. It's been the same forever. Like nothing has changed. Like even on the way to get here, like nobody even noticed me. So yeah, nothing has been different really. It's been the same
Maybe
forever.
that's a good thing,
Yeah.
to kind of keep your privacy and keep a normal life, because I
Yeah.
think with fame comes a lot of responsibility too.
Maybe, but if I go to Shibuya, I get noticed a lot more. But like Shibuya is like the dimension where everybody watches like internet shorts and everything. Other than that, nobody really knows I exist, and yeah, that's how it's been really.
So at the moment, you're open to suggestions for new projects. You don't have any particular plans. You're kind of waiting and watching to see what happens online in about Japan.
Mhm.
Anything you're expecting for 2026?
Well, you know what? Well, like I want to figure out what to do in the future though eventually because of like whole like AI stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I So I'm a translator and I do voice acting and voiceovers too. The AI stuff is going to basically do everything for me instead. So people are not gonna hire me as a voice actor, translator. People don't hire me as a translator anymore. That's completely gone. Like I was able to work as a translator before, but now nobody hires me anymore. Like the demand for that is completely gone. So I want to figure out what to do in the future, and that's kind of what I want to focus on in 2026. Because I think the voice acting career might be gone too, with the rise of like the whole like
Mm-hmm.
AI stuff
Lots of exciting changes then.
too. Yeah.
We talked about a lot of topics. Is there anything in particular that you would have liked to talk about today that maybe I didn't ask you about?
uh, how is it like living in Osaka?
Osaka is, I think, perfect to live. It's well located. It's got everything. It's smaller than Tokyo. Tokyo is too big.
Mm.
There's so many opportunities in Tokyo and so many interesting people. I mean, a lot of our guests come here from Tokyo, but it's so big and so expensive. Buying a house in or apartment in Tokyo is impossible now,
Mhm.
especially if you're on an English teacher salary, like you mentioned, like Junima.
Yeah, it's
You,
impossible.
yeah. Osaka is nice. Nature is close by. Everything's close by in
And
Tokyo.
people are friendly here too.
Yeah.
People are so open-minded here, and they want to talk to you too. Like they don't care who you are. They care about how funny you are, how interesting you are. They don't really care anything else. It seems like that's my impression.
Maybe you can relocate to Osaka in 2026 and
Well, I don't think I want to do it because I still feel like being close to Tokyo is like important as a
Mhm.
YouTuber because a lot of people live there.
Yeah.
If I ever want to do anything, I got to be close to Tokyo. So I
Mhm.
don't really have like any plans to be in Osaka. But if I ever quit all the online things entirely, being in Osaka might be a great idea, maybe in the future, because it's just so laid back here. It seems like the stress level is like a lot lower.
You grew up in Tokyo, right?
No, Chiba.
Chiba.
Yeah,
Well, kind of very close to Tokyo
yeah.
then, I imagine.
So,
Where do you like to go then in Tokyo if you kind of don't want to be surrounded by too many people or punched at the Shibuya Kombini? Do you have a favorite place or favorite neighborhood to hang out that you kind of would recommend people to
outside of
explore
Tokyo,
within Tokyo?
uh, f- I don't know, because like I wouldn't hang out in Tokyo, because like Tokyo's like I've been saying this. There's like Singapore and Malaysia, right?
Hmm.
Tokyo is kind of like that. Tokyo, Singapore, and the other prefectures are in Malaysia. Tokyo isn't really Japan. I've been feeling like it's
Really?
like a whole different dimension where everything suddenly changes. Suddenly the price is like 2 times more too. Like if you wanted to get like some decent ramen in Tokyo, that's like 1,600 yen. But in Chiba, the same ramen can be from like 800 yen. So it's literally 2 times cheaper.
Wow.
And the same for rent too. Like if you wanted to get a one room apartment in Tokyo, that's easily 13 months, like 130,000 yen. In Chiba, that can be 60,000. So it's literally 2 times cheaper. So Tokyo is a place where there's everything, but because everything is in one place, I feel like you gotta be careful of like a lot of like the rules and a lot of things, and it feels really stressful to me. So if I ever wanted to hang out with my friends, I wouldn't probably do that in Tokyo.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But as a content creator, the opportunities are there.
Because people go to Tokyo to do cringy stuff, and you can kind of see all the cringy things there too, or like all the cringy events like Halloween and the New Year's Eve, and it's all in Tokyo. But I've been saying this. I don't really think Tokyo is a great place for people to live in, just simply because everything's so expensive. There are so many people, and like everything just way too insane. Because you can just go to Chiba, which is like 30 minutes away from Tokyo, and the rent goes down a lot. The food is like suddenly a lot cheaper too. But yeah, so because of that, I don't think Tokyo is like a great.
Interesting answer. So
Yeah.
you basically then only go to Tokyo if you need to.
Yes, like because you can do everything in not like Tokyo is the place you have to visit if you want to do some certain stuff, and you can do other things outside of Tokyo. That's kind of like what I think as well. Like if you want to live in Japan, you know how people just like want to go to Tokyo and live in
Hmm.
Tokyo, and they say like, oh, it's just so expensive. But then there's like Saitama, which is like 30 minutes away from Tokyo, and Kanagawa, which is like 20 minutes away from Tokyo. Everything is like so much cheaper, and then there's suddenly like a lot more nature and stuff too. People assume like they have to be in the countryside to see trees and mountains and stuff too, but you just have to like take trains for 1 hour from Tokyo, and then you'll be like you'll see mountains and the complete nature only like 1 hour away from Tokyo too. So I think it's important to live outside of Japan, not Japan, Tokyo, so that the rent will be cheaper, food will be cheaper. But if necessary, you can just go to Tokyo, and it only takes like at most it's like 40 minutes away. Then you get your thing done in Tokyo, and then you just go back to your home. And I feel like that's the best way to live in Japan. I think. Or maybe I'm just biased.
You asked about life in Osaka. What
Mm.
was your interest in Osaka specifically? Do you come here often?
I come here like once a year, like twice a year, because you know how everybody thinks Japanese people are shy and Japanese people are quiet. Japanese people don't talk to you, which is true, except for Osaka. People change drastically here. I said like Tokyo is not really Japan. Tokyo is kind of like Singapore. Osaka's like I've been kind of saying this everywhere. Osaka is like America of Japan, like how people are so open-minded. People actually say hi back to you. Like if you just randomly go up to people and say like, hello, they actually do that to you here. And they even like tell you jokes randomly. That's never a thing in Tokyo. I never see that in Tokyo. So like when I first came to Osaka, I on stream, that was like 3 years ago. I got shocked by how people are so friendly here. People want to talk to you, and it's not weird for you to talk to random people here. They actually don't mind it here. So what's interesting in Osaka isn't really the scenery or like food or like nature or anything. It's more like how people change entirely. And they don't think interacting with other people isn't weird. In Tokyo, it's like a weird thing. Like you don't talk to people. Like if you go up to random people, that's a crime. You can get arrested for talking to like other people. That's what it feels like there. But in Osaka, it's like um you are supposed to talk to people more. That's my impression. Do you ever feel like that?
I don't know if you're supposed to. And my life and in my experience in Japan has been nearly exclusively in Osaka.
Okay.
So for me, Osaka is normal. That's Japan. And I also often get questions like, "Oh, how about your Japanese? And do you understand Osaka Ben?" I'm like, "I don't know. I only hear Osaka Ben. For me, this is normal Japanese. And when I go to Tokyo, I'm like, oh, this is like different. How are they speaking it? Why are they saying it this way?"
So you've been to Tokyo, right?
Yeah, I've been to Tokyo.
Have you ever felt like in people in Tokyo suddenly get like insanely shyer and they don't talk to you?
I don't know if they're shy, but they're basically kind of everyone is just focused into their thing. They're going from A to B
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
don't want to be distracted.
Yeah.
It's a bit more like I don't know how you call it, like a full of ants. Everyone is kind of moving
Yeah.
around everywhere, and Osaka has maybe a bit more room to breathe.
And maybe it feels like people here are happier and they want to have like happier lives here. Whereas in Tokyo, it feels like everybody is just trying to uh you know escape into like a different dimension or something. I've been feeling like that's the case in Tokyo.
So maybe for some of your audience members asking about what's it like in Tokyo, maybe you can start introducing Osaka more, and some of them might be interested in Osaka or beyond. There's many other fantastic places in Japan.
Did you know that there's like this list of like cities that are great to live for foreigners? And did you know Osaka is like higher than Tokyo now?
I can imagine. I didn't see the list, but I can imagine that.
So there's like a lot of like different lists and whatever too. But people started saying Osaka is better than Tokyo. And so if you were Japanese, it might be kind of different because you kind of know how Japan works. But for like non-Japanese people, Osaka seems to be better because people are more open to foreigners here. Like they would actually talk to you, right? They only care whether you are fun to talk to or not. Like they don't focus on manners here. It really seems like that. I don't mind it as long as you are fun to talk to. You are hilarious. If you're funny, then like you get accepted easily here, which is not the case in Tokyo. People throw way too many jokes here in Osaka. Even the signs you randomly see in Osaka, like even the signs are trolling, saying like, "This is the shittiest place ever in Osaka." I'm like, wow, that's so rare. So,
which makes it difficult for people that are actually shy and want a quiet, peaceful life to be accepted here in Osaka if they're not.
Maybe like if you were shy, I guess like Tokyo might be better because like nobody wants to talk to you and you can actually live in Tokyo
and disappear into this kind of world of its own.
Yeah, like you don't have to say anything in Tokyo. In Osaka, it feels like you have to say something. Like you have to open your mouth and actually, start composing sentences yourself in Japanese. Like that's really what it seems like.
Tokyo versus Osaka, I guess it depends what you're looking for. Both have something very interesting to offer. And maybe for you in the future, who knows, a move from Chiba to Kansai. You're a comedian after all. You do a lot of skits. Maybe you'll find some peers here.
Well, I think in Osaka, I'll just be cringing. Like, that's it. I don't really think I'll be funny here. I mean, I'm not really funny anyway, but like, especially in Osaka, I'll just be that one cringy dude. And like,
it's part of your brand now, though.
Yeah, I mean, true. So like, I guess that works then, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a crime to be cringe in Osaka somehow. So
I don't know about that. But Sora, thank you so much for coming. I think we talked about so many interesting things, and you've certainly had a very interesting career. I'm very much looking forward to more of your videos and content online.
Thank you.
Your commentary on whatever happens next in Japan. And for everyone that listens to this, probably good to keep in mind that what's happening on the internet is not necessarily what's happening here on the ground. But thank you so much for coming all the way to visit us in Osaka. And thank you everyone for listening and watching. This was Unpacking Japan, and we'll see you in the next episode. Oh, what a journey you've been. Thank you for sticking with us all the way till the end. We really appreciate it. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the podcast. It helps us improve the show and bring you more in-depth conversations from Japan. Take care and see you next time.